Well, it's that time of year again. Summer's wrapping up, school's getting ready to start back, which means it's the end of the Barnes & Noble Criterion Collection 50% off sale. This happens every year, twice a year, once in the summer, once in the fall, usually July and November. And Criterion is definitely my favorite boutique label, favorite label in general. This shelf right here next to me is nothing but Criterion. All on the floor is Criterion. I've got some scattered around here too. You see my Wes Anderson box set back there. It's my favorite label. A lot of my purchase decisions and how I collect is because of the Criterion collection. I got a lot more than I thought I was going to this year. 17 titles when I counted just now, which is a lot more than I thought I was going to get. And I think that's basically everyone. I think everyone thinks they're going to go into the Criterion sale getting a lot less than they end up getting. So I'm going to go in order that I bought them, and we'll go from there. First up, I was super excited when this one was announced, and it was the very first thing I grabbed. 1974's Lenny, directed by Bob Fosse, starring Dustin Hoffman. Gorgeous movie. Incredible black and white cinematography. I did see this once a long time ago, and it was like, I want to buy that. And all that existed was the Twilight Times release. If you're too young for Twilight Time, that was a label that everything was limited to 3,000 pieces. That was sort of the shtick with them. I own one Twilight Times title, All the King's Men. I'm glad that they don't exist anymore and that a lot of their stuff has been able to move to other labels, including Lenny. And I think Criterion Collection is a great place for it to be. Some very good special features. I did not get to the audio commentary yet, but some of the archival interviews and behind the scenes stuff was very cool. Very glad to have this. As a movie I very much enjoy. You don't see biopics like this anymore. So that's Lenny. Beautiful movie in its cinematography. Great performance by Dustin Hoffman. But when is he not good? Next up, a very modern film, and by very modern I mean last year. 2025's Sentimental Value, directed by Joachim Trier. One of my favorite movies from last year. Got to see it because of the Oscar race, and I'm very glad I did. It really makes me want to check out Worst Person in the World, which is still on my watch list. But very nice cover here. The house, obviously, if you've seen the film, you know the house is basically a character. Very good movie, family drama starring Renata Reinsve, who we just saw in Backrooms. Stellan Skarsgård, who was fantastic. He was my personal pick for Best Supporting Actor. Of course, that went to Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. Also, Inga Ipsdottir Lilius and Elle Fanning in Oscar-nominated roles too. Very good drama. Subtitles for most of it, but this is one I recommend. I have not gotten to dive into this release specifically just because I got some other stuff here, and this is a movie I watched only a couple months ago. But I'm very glad it does have a home media release. Next up, another new release in between the November and July sales. This is a box set. It's a trilogy, a loosely connected trilogy. This is the John Singleton's Hood trilogy, featuring Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, and Baby Boy. I have only seen Boys in the Hood, but the first time I watched it was on this disc. Very good movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. is excellent in it, and it is a incredible directorial debut, also considering how young John Singleton was when this movie came out. You want to see it back there? There's a boatload of special features across the three films. I need to get to Poetic Justice and Baby Boy. I've heard particularly good things about Poetic Justice being considered one of like the best road trip movies. This is a unique release because you don't get Blu-rays. You only get the 4Ks. There is a bonus feature disc there. But yeah, the movies are only on 4K unless you buy the Blu-ray version, in which you only get the Blu-rays. Nice artwork, nice premium box set, booklet. Looking forward to getting to the rest of these films. Like I said, I've only gotten a chance to check out the one, but if it's any indication of the other two, then this certainly deserves a spot in the collection. Spine number 1307, nice big box set. I always like getting in the collection. Another new release of an old Spine number. This is from 1979, Monty Python's Life of Brian. Spine number 61, so finally getting a HD upgrade, not only to HD, but to 4K. Monty Python's Life of Brian. I watched it for the first time on this release. Pretty good movie. Funny. I don't think it's as funny as people say it is. It's not one of these like all-time great comedies, but for some reason I've got some disconnect with the Pythons where I want to like them more than I do. Even though I've seen this, I've seen Holy Grail, I've seen parts of Meaning of Life. I've met John Cleese, for heaven's sakes. So I really want to like them a lot more than I do. I appreciate them, though. I do appreciate them. I appreciate a movie like this and its satire. Very good supplementary materials. This also does not come with a Blu-ray. Inside, you get the 4K movie, and then the Blu-ray disc is special features. So if you want it on Blu-ray, the movie, you got to buy just the Blu-ray. But very good documentary called The Story of Brian from 2007. It's got a lot of the Pythons in it talking about the movie and its controversy. Also a kind of famous debate that was on the BBC. I believe that is on here also, as well as 2 commentaries. Good stuff all around. Enjoyed the movie. Great song at the end. Next 2 I can't talk as much about because I have not watched them, but I bought them. It's a problem. And this is one that's been on my to-buy list for about a decade, and it was finally time. Spine number 504 from 2008. Hunger by Steve McQueen, starring Michael Fassbender, one of my favorite actors. They both made a very good movie together called Shame. If you haven't seen Shame, you should watch it, unless you're too young, because it's actually NC-17. Ever since then, I've been wanting to watch Hunger, based on a true story. This is a much older release. So, like I said, I've wanted it for probably about 10 years. I think, yeah, 2009 is when this release came out. But I'm glad to finally have it, finally get it off the wish list, and then eventually it'll soon be off the watch list. Another newer release from 1989, Spine number 1251, Gus Van Sant's Drugstore Cowboy, starring Academy Award nominee Matt Dillon. Actually, right before I started recording this, Matt Damon did a Criterion Closets pickup, and this was one of the movies he chose because him and Gus Van Sant worked together on Good Will Hunting, one of my very favorite movies of all time. Can't say much about this. Like I said, haven't watched it. Seemed interesting enough. I like Matt Dillon. I like Gus Van Sant films, so you'll be watching this one pretty soon. Next up, this is one that I've been sitting with for a while. I bought this kind of on a whim, and I'm very glad I did, and I did get a chance to watch it. From 1991, Spine number 1007, Wim Wenders' Until the End of the World. One of the longest movies in the Criterion Collection, clocking in at 287 minutes. That's just shy of 5 hours. This is the director's cut, and the sticker just fell out. I keep the stickers, and I slide them in, and the sticker fell out, but we'll get that in a minute. This is a incredibly ambitious film set in the near future, starring William Hurt, who I've gone on a kick of watching. You'll see some more William Hurt stuff here in a minute. I've also got on a Wim Wenders kick, even though I love Perfect Days and I love Paris, Texas. But I'm finally going to start diving into him a little bit more. Yeah, this movie's pretty amazing. Near future sci-fi-esque film. Absolutely incredible soundtrack with original songs from U2, Talking Heads, REM, just some of the best people in the business. Also starring the late Sam Neill in an excellent performance. This is one of those movies, it is so long that it is on 2 discs. So that's why there are 2 discs, because the movie has to be broken up into two discs. If you have not watched this, I highly recommend this. I did not watch this in one sitting. This took probably about 4 sittings. I watched it kind of like a mini series, but very, very, very impressed by this movie. Highest recommendations all around for Until the End of the World. Next up, these 3 came out on the same day. Criterion knows what they're doing. They strategically put out the good stuff in July and November. But first up here, Spy Number 1318 from 1974, a new Scorsese film in the collection. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, starring Ellen Burstyn in a Academy Award-winning performance, as well as Christoph Christofferson. Again, I have not seen this. It's a movie my mom really enjoys, so we will be watching this pretty soon. This is the 4K. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet, but anything Scorsese, and Scorsese being in the collection, it can't be too bad. This has also been one that has not had a HD release until now. Similar story here, no HD release until now. This is Spy Number 1320 from 1992, Neil Jordan's Oscar-winning film, The Crying Game. Another movie I have not seen, but my dad talks about this movie a lot because this is when he was really into independent film and Oscar films and art films. So right here, late 80s, early 90s. So he was on the ground floor for The Crying Game, and he talks about it a decent amount. Again, this is a movie that was stuck on DVD and VHS for the longest time. Finally coming here with a 4K. I will be watching this in the coming days. Very excited to finally get to see it. I know there's a twist ending. I don't know what it is, though. So this is The Crying Game. I know Stephen Ray was nominated for an Oscar for this, as well as Jay Davidson. So looking forward to watching that. And then another movie that was stuck in standard for the longest time until now, and came out on the same day as those, Spy Number 1319 from 1963, HUD. I cannot believe it took forever for this to get a release. I know it's a classic movie. Patricia Neal, who won an Oscar for this. Melvin Douglas, who won an Oscar for this, starring Paul Newman. Western film. I have not seen it yet. Like I said, this is pretty boring. It's a lot of, oh, I bought this. I don't know really what it is. But my parents know what it is, and they're looking forward to watching it again. Also, you can't go wrong with Paul Newman. So looking forward to seeing this in glorious 4K. Next up, a little bit of an older release, Spy Number 970 from 1957. Elia Kazan's A Face in the Crowd, starring Andy Griffith. This is one I've been wanting to see for a while. I've heard a lot of comparisons between this and Network. And this was one that was harder for me to find. A lot of my stores have not had this for a while. I've got about 3 Barnes & Nobles that have a decent Criterion section. None of them had this. It took me going on a trip out to New Mexico to finally go to a Barnes & Noble that had this. Also, I got double stamps. Again, I went to 2 stores, each running double stamps different times. So, double stamps 2 times. Quadruple stamps? Not quite. But still, ended up working out. Again, have not seen this yet. But looking forward to it. Anything that has to do with satire of the media, I'm always a fan of. Network, which came out recently, is a great movie. And I've heard a lot of comparisons. Apparently, Andy Griffith is incredible in this. So, looking very much forward to seeing A Face in the Crowd. As I mentioned, I'm on a William Hurt kick, so I got Spy Number 1284 from 1980. This is Altered States. Very trippy, sci-fi-esque movie from Patty Chayefsky, who wrote and won an Oscar for Network. So we got a lot of Venn diagrams going on. Again, this is one I grabbed in New Mexico. I could find it everywhere, but I wanted to take advantage of double stamps again. So very trippy movie. Looking forward to seeing this in 4K. And yeah, it seems like William Hurt did a lot of really interesting, good stuff in his time. Another crossover here from someone we talked about earlier, Spy Number 490 from 1987. This is Mim Vender's Wings of Desire. I'd heard about this movie. I know it's a classic and a lot of people really, really like it. but it took me watching until the end of the world to go, you know what? I want to watch some more Vim Vendors. And you can see the sticker falling out right there. I'm going to slide that back. So haven't watched this yet. It's kind of a commitment. The sticker still fell. It's a little bit more of a commitment, just got subtitles, so kind of got to be in the right mind space for that. But it's just over 2 hours, so shouldn't be too long. And apparently it's really good. This is the 4K, so glad I was able to wait on that. Finally, last thing, another box set. This is one I was very excited when it was announced because I thought it was very interesting they were doing this. But this is spy number 1322. In this box set has a name. It's called I'll Remind You of Everything, the Films of Mike Mills. So Mike Mills, a director who did a lot of music videos, I found out. They took his basically 3 main feature films, as well as a couple music videos, including one for Talking Heads, and a lot of short films. It looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 short films, 2 music videos, 3 feature films. So that's a lot of stuff going on in this box set. The films Beginners, 20th Century Women, and Come On, Come On. I have seen Beginners, but I have not seen the other 2. The other 2 are A24 films. So these are the second and third A24 films that come to the collection. The first being Uncut Gems. I think that's right. I'm almost certain those are the only 3 A24 films in the collection. So this was very interesting to me that they put this out. It just, I don't know. I just would not have guessed them doing something like this. It's a nice box set. I was out of town when they did this, so I stopped at a Barnes & Noble in Arizona on release day to make sure that I got it. You can see here, nice big digipack, 6 discs, because there's a lot of content in this. Beginners is a very good movie, and I will be checking it out again soon, but I'm very much looking forward to 20th Century Women and Come On, Come On. That's the end of the sale. This was all I was able to get from the sale, which I think is more than enough. I'm saying this as I struggle to get this closed. There we go. So next sale coming up in November. There's one that I really want. It's a big release, and I'm sure a lot of people also want it. That would be the 4K release of Harlan County, USA. Just kidding. I do want that, but that is not the big one I want. The big thing I want, like everyone else, the Kubrick box set. That's the next big one. I definitely plan on getting that. I actually sold off my Kubrick Criterions. I sold off Barry Lyndon, Paths of Glory, Eyes Wide Shut, The Killing. I got rid of all those. I got rid of my 4K of 2001 just to supplement some of the cost of that. So I'm very, very excited for that box set. They just released some new details about some of the special features and the exact restoration details of all the films in there. So that'll be a very good one, as well as some other cool stuff. Frankenstein is coming also, so another Del Toro in the collection, as well as that Harlan County, USA 4K, which I am actually excited for, but not as much as that Kubrick box set. So what did you guys get in the sale? I know these are always, big moments. I'm going to take the time to put that back now. They're always big sales, always able to get a lot of cool stuff. So what did you get? What are you looking forward to? What do you wish you could have gotten? And all of that. That's really all I got to say. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you got. Did you get Altered States? Did you get Wings of Desire? Let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ooh.